island. Best believe my list gon' be like 5 miles long. Best believe it's love that makes me sing this song. The cleanest breeze on the waters. Friendly people meet in every corner. Togetherness and love is what we stand for. We stand for. We stand for.
Oh, island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. Going higher. 50 years we're blessed with forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, 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 up. Going up, 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 up.
We're going higher. Going higher. As we aspire, build advances, put people together.
Bang, bang, bang.
It's only up from
It take time to reminisce on the richness of our history from the beginning. From the people who came through sugar and change, emancipation, the revolution. More than the speck up on the globe, more than the ice cream and gold, much more than the nutmeg and the clove. Tell the world we are Grenadians. Oh.
3 islands united as one, blessed with the strength to carry on. We're more than just that island in the sun. Tell the world we are Grenadians.
Higher, 50 years we blessed with force and fire. Oh, you mean? We going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up. Aspire, build advances, want people together. Going up, going up.
Yes, indeed, we are going up, up, and up. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. Again, this is the first program for 2024. So I want to wish you Happy New Year. I want to encourage you to try and accomplish all your goals, all that you set out to accomplish, and do not make anyone stop you from getting to that place. I want to also say to you that 2023 were very good for many Grenadians. We have seen so many good things, so many wonderful things, accomplish, and we give thanks. We thank God Almighty for His blessings, because without Him, we would not have made it and pulled through and accomplished so many things as a country and as a people. So again, I want to encourage all of us to go at it. 2024 could be a really good year for Grenada. Remember, we will be celebrating 50 years. 50 years as an independent nation. That's a very huge milestone. And as we forge ahead, as we transform Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, let us do so bringing everybody up. You don't want to leave people behind. We have seen for the last 23 or so years, so many people were left behind. In other words, what we are experiencing today with toilets being provided, indoor bathroom and toilet facilities being provided for people, that should have been done many years ago. Internet access for those without, that should have been done years ago. The free tuition policy, giving access to tertiary level education to all of our people, that should have been done way back. You look at Guyana, you look at Jamaica, you look at Trinidad, you look at Barbados. I mean, they have done that a long time ago. So we're playing catch up, so to speak, right? So when I speak about not leaving people behind or not leaving some of our people behind, that is exactly what I am referring to. Making sure that our people are on board with the agenda. And that is what we are seeing. So again, 2024, we look forward to big things, to huge things happening for our people. And we have to remain focused. We have to remain positive. Positive. I was looking at a short clip where this individual was saying, let us surround ourselves with positive energy because our people have become so negative that everything that's positive seems to be, hidden, even if it's happening before our very eyes. So you just cannot see it. It's there, it's happening, but because you have become so negative in your thoughts, in your mindset, you just cannot see the positive things that are happening around all of us. So we have to become more positive as a people, because do not believe 2024 will see the NNP going silent or the NNP not attacking, not complaining, not being negative. Don't believe that. They will be even more negative. They will attack even more. They will cherry pick and try to paint a bad picture of nearly everything because they will not allow the NDC to peacefully govern. They will not. In fact, they are already gearing up to attack the government when it comes to that pending reshuffle, because there will be a reshuffle taking place very soon in terms of ministerial portfolios. And just as the NNP did, Keith Mitchell did on umpteen occasions, he changed his cabinet, he reshuffled his cabinet, he gave different people different portfolios. You can expect the NNP to attack the NDC on that. So even if it's a normal thing, you can expect them still to attack the government where that is concerned. So prepare for that. There will be some reshuffling taking place. I have a little insight as to what it may look like, but I am not going to speak about that on the program unless it happens, right? That we have to support. That we have to support as a people, as a country, because during the tenure of one government, there will be changes in different government ministers' portfolio. That's a normal thing. But our people, the NDC supporters, and people who want to see Grenada transform, want to see Grenada move to that next level, you have to be on board. You have to make sure that you support this as we move along, as we go to the next level. All right. So this morning I will be having my good friend Andy Williams, the Honorable Andy Williams. And he's the minister responsible for quite a bit. When you hear MIT, you're speaking to making sure that we mobilize, making sure that we implement, making sure that we transform, right? Mobilization, implementation, and transformation, getting that done. And I can recall vividly when the swearing in ceremony was taking place, and our beloved Prime Minister stated, look, if the government must succeed, it means that the Honorable Andy Williams and his ministry did a wonderful job and have to do a great job, right? They have to do that. And they're not disappointing. They're not disappointing at all. So I want to again say to you, I'll be chit chatting with him this morning. So, you could share share the live, so as many people as possible can get to listen in. All right. Okay, right. So let me hear let me just get this little piece of this here. All right. Let me just get a little piece of this here for you. So I was just saying to you, I'll be chatting with him momentarily, and I think he's actually on the platform already. So let me bring him in. I want to welcome you, the Honorable Andy Williams. How are you, my brother? Happy New Year to
I'm
you.
good, man. How you doing? How you doing, Ken?
I am fine, thanks. How you coping? I mean, you have been on the ball from the one, non-stop. How you personally, Andy, your family, how everybody doing? Tell me a little
Well,
about.
well, let me just start by saying Happy New Year to your viewers and yourself, and Happy New Year to the Ghanaian people. And Ken, let me just say it's really hard work. It's hard work. I wouldn't lie. And sometimes I leave my family behind and throw in all the dedication towards the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique, because when I put myself up for service, I said, Andy, you know what? You have to make a difference, and I'm determined to make a difference. I'm determined to do things for my country, not just for joke or for fame or for papi show or all this kind of thing, but we work for my country. And in doing so, I made a pledge to myself that I will try to unite people in the process. So, I mean, it's hard work. I sign up for it, and I am ready for the task,
Beautiful.
so to speak.
Beautiful. But I was a while ago, just before you came on, saying to the viewers that I remembered vividly our beloved Prime Minister saying, if his government must succeed, it means that Andy Williams and the team at MIT, they have to really do what they must do, and then the government will succeed ultimately. And we're actually seeing that, happening here in Grenada. You have been doing a lot with your team, and I know it's teamwork. It's not just you, but it's teamwork. And you have been accomplishing a lot of things from your ministry point of view within your constituency and throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and PG Martinique. Talk to us about that, the teamwork, the effort, what you're putting into it to make sure that these things become a reality.
Well, according to the Prime Minister, MIT is a driver. MIT is the one who takes charge to implement. If something is not going according to plan, MIT will come in and try to assist in solving the bottlenecks and everything. So, as the Prime Minister said, if MIT fails, the government fails. That is why, Kem, I take that very serious. So, I will make it my duty to ensure that I do what I can to solve every issue and to make sure that projects are really going according to plan. But let me just say something, because I've heard some people have been clamoring us and saying, you know what, hey, is y'all not implementing y'all projects? Is other administration projects? And let me just say this: it's a sense of maturity. Number one, it's a sense of maturity to to finish something that someone has started. That's maturity, than to say, you know what, I'm not going to finish it because it's not me who started, so I'm going to just leave it like that. Because at the end of the day, the government is continuous, number one. Number two, we have seen so much projects, so much unfinished projects, that it will be irresponsible of us to go ahead and start something when you have all these projects there that are halfway or have not been started. And that is why I did a presentation in Parliament when I said in the pipeline, because and let me give credit where credit is due. The last administration, there are some good projects, but the problem was that they just couldn't implement it. And what we did, that when we came in, we saw all these projects. The Prime Minister called me, we spoke, and we said, you know what, let's push these projects. So at the end of the day, we have our agenda, we have our project that we want to push, but it was only responsible for us to really address these other projects that were started by the NNP or could not get started. And we really did our best to push it. In 2024, you would see more of our projects, things that we want to implement. going forward. We have reached a stage where, where we are, or where we have got most of the projects going. Some of them will be completed in this year. But this year, Grenadian people, you can look forward to the starting of a new hospital. You can look forward to more training centers, skilled training centers, not just training people in or educating children in the academics, but also in the skills. As we know, not everyone is academically inclined. You will see Project 500 taking place, where we will start with building 500 Grenadian-style houses. You will see agriculture, more emphasis placed on agriculture, where we will be trying to produce for the domestic market and also export. So all these things are things that you will see happening this year, and it will have been irresponsible of us to come in and start all these things and leave all these projects that were started by the previous administration there. Also, Kim, I want to say this. You will also see the Fort George project maturing. That's where we are turning Fort George into a tourism site. And that will be one of the best tourist attractions we will have in Grenada, Carriacou, and PD-Matic. I'm telling you. It is geared to finish at the end of May. So for the following independence, we will be unveiling it and everything, and it could be part of the whole process, and October 19th also. To add, tell me if I'm going too long, right? I'm just flowing, right?
Go ahead, we were listening.
Right, because I want to address some matters too, because I'm hearing, Grenada is spending 15 million on independence celebrations and all these things. But Kim, I just want to see, imagine you get a chance to host the World Cup. What do? Leave your stadium as it is and just hope for people to come and make money? Or do you have to upgrade your facilities? And sometimes some people look at the money that is spent, but let's look at the money that will be gained. Let's look at the flights that will be coming in. Let's look at the hotels, the taxis, the restaurants. Everything will be full. Everywhere will be filled. And and just us putting on this celebration, the world will be watching. And we have to show the world what Grenada is made of. So sometimes some people just play penny white and pound foolish. And you just have to laugh, because I can tell you, this February, this independence celebration will be a big one. It will be one where everyone will feel the effect on the ground. And we have to ensure that we do our best and we put our best foot forward, because the world is watching.
And Minister,
That alone,
Minister, we expect thousands of Grenadians to come back home and be a part of that of this celebration. And 50 years is a huge milestone for any country. We have seen that in throughout the Caribbean. Once they're celebrating 50, it's a big thing. It's a huge thing. They invest a lot into it because they know the returns will be great, will be even greater.
Exactly. And you have one of the Caribbean islands, I think was St. Kitts, or someone had just had the 50th anniversary celebration, and it was big also. So we have to stop thinking small, Cam, and let's think big. We are seeing the world moving forward, and we cannot afford to let Grenada stay back. So this old thinking, let me just say, this old NNP thinking have to just stop, get out of the way, and make way for new thinking, bigger thinking, thinking that will make us grow globally and make Grenada be a mark. We have seen countries like Singapore over the last 50 years or so, or 70 years, were like the third poorest country in the world. We have seen South Korea after the World War had an economy, a bad economy. And now we have seen these countries. Korea is like the 11th largest economy in the world. You have Singapore going to the third richest country in the world. And how do you think this country got there? And we have to adopt the same mindset going forward. We have to start thinking different. We have to, someone asked me about the transformation process, and I said to them, listen, the hardest thing to transform is the minds of our people. But we cannot give up, we cannot stop. It will take a while, but we have to press on, because we have to adopt a new style of thinking, a thinking that will push Grenada forward. And for the new year, I have committed to myself, Kem, and to the country that I will even press on more than I did last year. So if you think Andy worked hard in 2023, trust me, you will see even more in 2024, because we cannot rest. We have to push this country.
And not only just Andy, but we're getting the same thing from all the ministers of government, that their presence will be felt more in the different constituencies. And in fact, our beloved Prime Minister is making it very clear that we have to be on the ground, or the ministers of government, they have to be on the ground within the constituency doing even more in 2024.
Yes, well, let me just tell you, our team is committed. The cabinet is committed. The ministers are committed. And I can tell you, we have a eagerness, we have a joy. And okay, let me just say this. I just want to just say this. And I'm not talking from the heart of a politician, no. I'm talking from the heart of a civilian. Tell me any time in history, probably only the revolution, where you have seen ministers so down to earth and on the ground like this. Right? Because, Kim, and that's just us. It is not about us being up there and people down there. I've just watched a video with Senator Lacquette pouring concrete in a ransom, you know, and you see Ron on the ground, you see Tevin on the ground, Boots on the ground. I mean, you see Kerry, you know, giving out her toys. I mean, David Andrew, even the Prime Minister. And I just want to take you that we have a wonderful Prime Minister in Dick Mitchell. Kim, if you know me, I don't follow people that often, but I can say that I am very joyful to follow our Prime Minister, Dick Mitchell. He's a man of action. He's a man of integrity, a man of respect, and he treats us with respect. And let me just tell you, the whole cabinet respect him, and not because he has a heavy hand or he cusses and all these things as the other person was there, but he commands our respect because he gives us respect. And I want to just thank him this morning and even bless him this morning for a wonderful leader he has been. And I just with him. I couldn't be more happy to serve on a team with Deacon Mitchell leading the way, I can tell you. So we are excited, we are committed, and I can tell you that we will do our best to really push this agenda.
Yeah,
because
let us kind of come back to that project in Molyneux. Without
Okay.
cutting you, it just
That's all right.
kind of pop up. Let's talk about that Molyneux project, because I saw some new photos and so on Facebook. I think it's actually on your page. Speak to
Yeah.
us about that particular project, because you know that's a very important project for the western corridor of the country. You know,
Yeah.
St. John, St. Mark, St. Patrick. Talk to us about that.
So let me just go back and come back and come forward. When we got that project, the contract was signed to the solution company, but actually there was something that was undone in terms of work permit and concession for equipment and all these things, and we did our best to really move it. That project since then, we have had some redesign done on that project, because we realized that the first one we inherited from the previous administration was not the best. They had a case where a water connection got damaged and it spread up on the hill and debris started to come down again. So what we did, we went back to the engineers and we designed the project. And in doing so, I can tell you we have a superior design. And the design really entails us putting piles in the ground, piles that was approximately 50 feet down in the ground. And that is where the piles will really make connection with the hard surface of the ground. So the road will be built on the piles. So I can tell you, it will be really solid. So the guys, they put the piles in already. What they are doing now, on top of the pile, they are doing the foundation of the road on top of the piles. They have the steel, they have everything that is that should be there to continue with the road. So going forward, what will happen is that the road will be built as a bridge, like when you build a bridge on a sea. It will be built like that, and we have geotextile mats that we will put on the hillside, and we will also grow vegetation on the hillside too, to make sure that the soil is compact and to reduce on the slippage and so. So going forward, we have a proper design, and the guys came as implementation. It is my duty to ensure that we speed up the project. The guys are working day and night to ensure that the Molyneux project is complete.
Yeah,
And
because I realized that they were actually working in the night with that particular, with the photos that I saw. I think it was on the 30th of December.
Yeah,
They were working in the night.
day and night, day and night. And imagine the holidays is there, but they're working day and night because we want to ensure that we complete this project in the time that we said we will do it. And also, we are not compromising quality on the project. The guys are they have the engineers there, and they are very meticulous in what they do. So I can tell the Grenadian people that the Millennium Road is on stream, and we are doing our best to ensure that we finish it in the shortest possible time, but also not compromising on quality.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Minister, let us also speak to the minimum wage order, because as of today, that comes into effect, so to speak. In other words, we're in January 2024, and the folks who work in, let's say, the Indian stores, the Syrian stores, clerks in different departments, the security officers, quite a number of different workers, they would see their salary changing for the better. Talk to us about that briefly.
Right. No, let me just throw a jab because, and I'm going to throw a jab, Kim, because people have to wake up and see, and according to what someone said long ago, and smell the cocoa. You had an administration who said that they love the poor and the vulnerable and like to boast about that. But minimum wage for the last 11 years was not touched. For the last time they were in office, they did not touch it. The last time it was touched was when NDC was in office. And that is that. I mean, and the fact that we tackled it, number one, it was a campaign promise. If you look at in our manifesto, you will see us saying that we will tackle the minimum wage. And number two, it is just the right thing to do because you have cost of living increasing every day. And not just in Grenada, but in all other countries. You have so much wars taking place. And when these things happen, it will disrupt the shipping chain. And when the shipping chain is disrupted, you will find freight increasing more. And also the cost of the goods these days are increasing. So I can tell you that things are increasing. And Kim and viewers, we saw it fit to do so because at the end of the day, people need to survive. Not just a minimum wage, but a living wage, a wage that they can live on. So from this month, the minimum wage will increase to $1,200. No one in Grenada will be working for less than $1,200. And we think that is the right thing to do. Some employers might say, Andy, boy, but my cost might go up. But listen, your expenses might go up, yes, but also you have more money circulating within the economy. Because where a man was working for $700 before, now he's working for $1,200, he can buy more. So yes, your cost may go up, but your sales will also go up. And if your sales go up, your gross profit will increase. And if your gross profit increase, it can net off against the expenses that you're talking about. So the minimum wage will help everyone, and businesses and workers, and we hope to see people conditions or living conditions better. But Ken, let me just expand on this. Because I must throw that jab, Ken, we have to wake up. Because one side always boasts about the poor and the vulnerable, but they do nothing to help them. All they give is a handout. Can I give you a handout today? Tomorrow, you're in the same position. If you look at our policies are geared towards helping people, giving them, something that can last them in the long term. Look at our free tuition. I heard you mention the free tuition just a while ago. Imagine you're a mother or father, and you can give your child a proper education. That child can come back, get a proper job and come back and assist you. Also, we just dealt with the land issue, with Nawasa issue in Parliament just at the end of last year, where we said, even though someone doesn't have ownership of the land, they can still get access to water. There are so much families in Grenada that because they don't have land title, cannot even get a proper water connection to get water in their homes. And these are the things that we will be doing. We'll be trying to help people, not just say we're helping, but genuinely help them. And also, last thing, I must get on it. Even the seed. Sometimes I listen to the Shaggy program. Yes, I listen to it. And I hear these guys to call and say, oh, the 150, the 150, the 150. And came and, last year, January, this 150 was placed there for 6 months on the books. The provision was made for 6 months, although they said that they would do it for 1 year. When we came into office, we made the provision for the other 6 months to honor the 1 year. When it was removed, because they knew it was temporary, Then they started crying shame on this government. But what we did last year budget, we decided to put on $200, Kim and Grenada, on the people over 65, the people with disabilities and so. And that is not a temporary measure, it's a permanent measure. So this is where we are going, Kim, not doing things for gimmicks, but genuinely doing stuff to help people.
Because it will bring it up to about $500, right?
Exactly.
For these people. Yeah.
Exactly.
But, you know, what is remarkable about the government is the fact that they're people-centered, right?
Yeah.
They're focused on the people and improving the living standard and condition of the people. You know, creating the enabling environment for people to really get stuff done and to be prosperous and to be better off. And I think that is what any good government would do. You spoke there about the previous administration, and I am here saying, but they always talk about the poor and the vulnerable. But when things are happening for the poor and the vulnerable to make them come out of that place where they're at, to improve their living standard and condition, the same administration or the same party will criticize the government. You reference the pipes, for example, Nawasa being able to provide pipe-borne water to all of our people, and that's kind of a human rights. That's not anything strange, but that should have been done long. I was speaking about that earlier before you came on. All these different things should have been done long by the previous administration, and we would have been better off. In fact, while you're talking about the minimum wage, if the NNP over the last 20-something years increased the minimum wage, you know, every 3 years, because by law it should be revised, adjusted every 3 years, we would have been way better off as a people, and we would not have been in this place where we have to now speak about $1,200 across the board for people and above. You know, so it's really significant that the government is placing a lot of emphasis on the people and the betterment of our people.
Yes, and you know, let's just turn to Carriacou for a bit, and I want to really, you know, thank my brother Tevin Andrews for the wonderful work he's doing in Carriacou. I was up there yesterday, and I've seen, you know, a few things, and I can tell you, trust me, he's doing a lot. But also, let me just also recognize our Minister for Climate Resilience, Kevin James, for the wonderful work that she's doing also. And Kim, I can tell you that Carriacou is moving towards 100% renewable energy. There's a solar project. That solar project was really inherited in 2018 by the government of Grenada. And again, up to 2022, nothing was done. And the Honorable Kevin James came in, and she ensured that that project got completed in approximately 9 months. So Carriacou, and that project will supply Carriacou with approximately 70% of its energy in terms of electricity, 70%. And Carriacou is really moving towards renewable energy, which will bring the cost down for everyone in Carriacou, and again, improve the standard of living for everyone, because we know that for us in Grenada, the cost of energy is too high, and that is a step in the right direction. So Kim, and again, Grenadians, we, you know, some people may talk and say they are for you, but you have to look at the actions. And I can tell you, in a year and a half time, I don't want to boast on and so, but in a year and a half time, you know, look at outside and so on, being objective, I can tell you that we are really doing our best to ensure that this country moves on, and we are there for our people.
Yeah, Minister, you in the budget, I realize that the government is moving towards providing hot meals for young people, those who normally depend on that on a daily basis when they go to school. Speak to us about that, though. That's a really good idea. We know about the free tuition policy. We know about the universal education, free textbook program, and voucher program, and all these different programs to help our young people to get their education. But moving in that particular direction with a free hot meal, that's a good thing.
But let me just show you the progression, Kim. Last year, we took out all the fees from secondary school and private schools in terms of students going to school, right?
Right.
This year, we took up the tuition fees for the tertiary level education, NULO and TAMCC. Right? Sorry, not this year. Last year, we did that. So 2022, we removed all the fees from the secondary school. 2023, we removed the tuition fees from TAMCC and NULO. And in 2024, I can tell you, we are on our way to free education up to TAMCC and NULO level. Now, in terms of the school meals, we said to ourselves, listen, we are going to remove all the fees for the meals, let the children come, and let everyone be entitled to a meal. Because can we know some parents do not have the ability to provide meals every day for their children, number one. And number two, it's hard for you to learn on a hungry belly. So we did it across the board. So everyone, we made it fair for everyone that we are going to give free meals so that children can be well equipped to learn going forward. And that's the emphasis we are placing on education. Because Kem and Grenada, I visited Korea South Korea in October. They have no resources. And I asked the president there, I asked, tell me what the secret in, from South Korea moving from the third poorest country to the third richest country in the world. And he said that they invested heavily in education. And if they can do it, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We should follow also. And, we are placing a lot of emphasis on education going forward, because that will be the key that will move us forward
Beautiful.
in the future. Yeah.
The government is also moving to change. Well, I think it starts in January to change the amount of years on the passport. So if you get a passport, it will be 10 years instead
Yes.
of 5. And
Yes.
your Grenadians are actually saving 250 because
Exactly.
within that space you have to renew. If it was 5 years, so you spend 250 to get it, and then you renew it 5 years, that's another 250 again within that 10-year span. That's a good thing, because when you go to get your
It
USB,
is.
it's normally 10 years they put on it. So the government is smart in their approach to governance.
Right. And it shows you that we are listening. We are listening, right? And that's the beauty of this government, is that we listen and we adjust. So Kim, and you hear people, but my thing is that why would it move to 5 years in the first place? Because I knew before it was 10 years. So what's the reason for moving it to 5? So we are listening, and not just the passport, but in other areas also. And we are determined to really do our best, Kim, to really please the people, because government is supposed to be of the people, for the people, and by the people. You cannot have government without people.
Also the license. There are a number of people who looking forward to the upgrading their
Yeah.
license. So speak to us about that, when that would come into effect.
Right. Well, I cannot tell exactly what date as yet, but when we do, we will make the announcements and so. And listen, I am the beneficiary of an upgrade back in, I think it was 2010, right? And it did me well, right? I was able to, when I was starting my business Hotspot, I was able to buy a truck and drive it for myself. If I did not get an upgrade, I had to hire a driver and all these other expenses, and it would have been difficult. So sometimes it may look simple, but it can really help people, in our daily lives or businesses as we go forward. But I don't have the date as yet. But as soon as we have the date, we will make it. We'll publish it.
Yeah. But definitely it will be in 2024, because it was announced in the
Yes.
budget.
Yes. But
Yeah,
also, let me just say this too: that we have, when you come to forklift drivers and so Kim, that's a skill job, and you have to reach a certain age to really operate these things. And we are changing the age, because we are saying when people are younger and they have all the reflexes and so, that is when they need to operate these things. And we're going to decrease the age so that people can get involved in these things at a younger age, because it's a skill job and we want to promote skills. Sometimes you want these skilled labor and you can't get them, but we have to start breeding these type of labor so that we can get them on a more regular basis. So you can look forward to that also.
No, that's really good, because you have a lot of people coming from outside of Grenada to do that kind of work. And if we can
Yeah.
have all people do it, that's a plus. That's a plus in
Yeah.
my view. 2024 will see a lot of projects kicking off, and you would need that kind of skill set. Speak to us also about some of the other major developments to come. Right, we see the Kiwana Bay resort, that
Yeah.
deal was signed, and very soon things will happen there too. Other little
Yeah.
projects and so on. Speak to us about that.
That again was an ISO, and when we came into office, we said, no, we have to do something about that. And again, let's thank our Prime Minister. He's a lawyer. The man is good at bargaining, excellent, and he was determined to ensure that we got that up and running, and we did. We entered into negotiations, and part of that negotiation came, and the people of Grenada was that we would get back the land that is Rivera Park, Cameron Park area next to Cameron Park, so that we can do a Heroes Park, and we can extend the Cameron Park area, because sometimes you in Cameron Park and you want somebody to eat, you want somebody to drink, there's nothing there, just a park. But we can, well, let me just say it's 5 acres of land there. And there's a lot that we can do with that to really enhance Grenada and enhance the beauty of Grenada. So we will be doing some stuff there, and we're going to have a nice design, put a nice plan together to make sure that it benefits everyone. The Kiwana Bay project, it will last approximately 2 years. So in 2026, you can see the project being completed. And, it's a good for Grenada because you will get rid of the ISO. The next thing is that we have to increase our room stock. So the more rooms that we invest in on the island is better for us. So you have the range, you have the Beach House project, now you have the Kiwana Bay project. And let me just say that people right now are feeling more comfortable to invest in our country. This kind of thing where we try to put the racial thing and white man this and white man that and all this kind of thing is no more. Right? What we are interested in is development and developing Grenada. And that is what you are seeing. You are seeing projects that was stalled. You are seeing it being moved or is moving. And at the end of the day, we will benefit. We will be creating employment for our people at the end of the day. And that is what you want. You want to have increased economic activity. And let me just see hats off to our Minister of Tourism again. When you look at the numbers in tourism, right? I'm talking about pre-COVID numbers. The numbers for 2023 were even higher than 2019, the period before COVID. And it tells you that we are doing something well. Hats off to the GTA, Randy Dolan, Petra, Roach. I think they are doing a wonderful job. We are seeing flights from Boston now coming in. We are seeing JetBlue making adjustments every time to Independence, to the Christmas, to the Carnival, to accommodate more people coming into Grenada. And we really appreciate that. And with that sort of thinking and that sort of trend, I can tell you that we are in for some lovely development, Kem, and the people of Grenada. But also, let me just use this time, Kem, I see the time going down. I want to really thank the people of the South. And listen, next election, we have to change it from St. George South, right? I'm not taking that. I'm not going to accept anything less than the Great South, right? We are earning our title, the Great South. And I want to thank them because, Kem, last night I was reflecting and saying to myself, boy, I remember during the campaign, I was saying, Deacon, listen, I mean, this other side have real money, man. They've been putting out money in shops like crazy. Deacon say, listen, Andy, it's ideas against money, right? And Kem, and when I to the shops, money was passing like crazy, 1,000 and 2,000 and so was passing. And when I saw the people of the South still came, voted for me in record numbers, I was really touched and I was humble. And that is why I feel compelled to really ensure that I serve them with everything that I have. Because the people of the South place their trust in me. And Kem, I just want to thank them, and I just want to tell them that I'm committed to developing the South as much as I can. This year, Kem, and the people of Grenada for the South will be the year for people. You will see more engagement in sports and sports and activities. That's why we are doing the work on the Grandlands basketball court in the Lions pasture. We are going to do some work in the Montu and Valley pasture too, and also we are going to create a pasture in Calais behind the school. Because it's very densely populated, and it's something that will keep the young people occupied and keep them focused and keep them disciplined. You can see us even going to the community centers and cooking food and distributing it to the people who cannot provide a proper meal for the day. Right, so we are going to be more people-centered this year in the Great South, and that was the plan. Number one, to deal with infrastructure. Number two, to deal with the people. And I think with that going forward,
without continuing, I realize that a lot of roads, a lot of construction is taking place. Building of roads in areas that was really that were really dot areas.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
love the comparison. You're putting the before picture up and then the after, so people can actually
Yes.
see what it was before and what it is now. And I think that's a
Yes.
really good. And not just in the south; it's happening throughout Grenada. But
Throughout.
I've seen that in the south happening, and that's
And let
really
me
good.
tell you, but some of these roads are strategic. Let me tell you why. Because the south, we always had an issue with traffic. So some of the road that we are doing, number one is there's a road that leaves from Gulf Coast that end up in the back of Food Fair, pass through Callan Park. That road is a good bypass road. Okay, let me just tell you. Once I was coming to Grandlands in the Christmas time, and I did a test. It took me 10 minutes from Gulf Coast Hill to Food Fair. And another time, I used that same route again to Gulf Coast in the back of Food Fair. It took me just 4 minutes. So we are doing some work on the bypass roads. There's one again from Gulf Coast, and you can bust out in the back of the sugar factory. We are doing some work on that. Also, there's a road in Guankai that you can leave from in the back of Foxin and end up through Monrouge. So even though you're coming from the airport or you're going to the airport, you don't have to pass through the sugar mill roundabout and all these things where you have most of the traffic being clogged. In addition to that, we are doing this year you will see us doing some, the flyovers and the walkovers, because part of the reason why there's so much traffic when you have to stop for pedestrians to cross. If you can eliminate that, you can encourage a free flow of traffic and will ease it up a lot. So some of these roads are strategic, and it is to really assist the flow of traffic and give alternative routes so that everyone doesn't have to be, gathered in the same place all the time.
And that's very good. That's a great idea. You're speaking about the flyover. You're talking about Morris Bishop Highway. You're referring to
Morris Bishop Highway. That's by Ramdani down there, and there's a school down there too. And we're also talking about by CK's there. There's a bus stop there, and every time the traffic stop for pedestrians to cross, there's a bottleneck that is created right there. So we want to really work on that. You'll see us working on the roundabout again, decreasing the size of the roundabout so that we can have more options in the traffic. You can see us doing some work in Montu to really assist with that as a bypass road that will ease the traffic again in Grandlands. So we are really thinking, and we are looking to implement certain things this year that will ease the flow of traffic to Grandlands.
beautiful. So we're almost to the end, and you're a politician. I want to give you next minute or two to wrap up and see what you believe we didn't touch on during the conversation.
Well, let me just thank you for your service first and foremost, right? And now I'm going to get political. I can tell you that. Ken, we have known each other for a long time. When I started our sport, I used to come on your program to really, advertise, hotspot and the deals, and so I used to send Lakeisha there to do the same. And I want to tell you, Ken, thank you for what you are doing. You have been a blessing to Grenada, and I can tell you that to get up every day and night and so, and do what you're doing, it is not easy. And I want to really, thank you for your commitment to the people of Grenada and to ensure that the NDC party stays alive. I can tell you that once upon a time, you were the only voice. You were the only voice, Ken. The voice and the willingness really speaking for the NDC. And Ken, as a supporter of one who supported the NNP before, and one who supports the NDC now, and is in government now, I can tell you that the NDC is the best choice, and NDC is the wisest choice for anyone to make. And I'm not just saying that. And there's a notion that the Grenadian people hold the NDC in higher standards than the NNP, right? And it just goes to show you why. Because they expect better from us. And, that's why, again, Ken, we are so committed. And I just want to say that for 2024, the idea will be to how do we move this country forward. I will be engaging in a project, Ken, that will help small businesses. There are some small businesses that are skills oriented and they are struggling. And I think it will be wise for us to help these businesses go forward while we train people in the process, right? And in doing so, because Ken, what really keeps a country up is not the big businesses and so on, it's a small business. And we have to focus on that, and we will be focusing on that. So I just want to say to everyone again, Happy New Year, wishing you the best, God's blessings, and Ken, you too on your program. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to be a voice for the people of Guyana, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. And we wish you all the best. Number one.
Right. Nice.
Yes.
Beautiful. So, Minister, it's always a pleasure chit-chatting with you. You're good like that. And I look forward to having you again. Anytime, feel free to come on. Let's chit-chat. You don't have to be in the studio, but, remotely, wherever you are, and we can chit-chat. And I will be doing a similar thing with the other ministers, so they can speak to what's happening within their constituency, what's happening within the ministry. And you nicely did that this morning, or you focus on some of the national things, then you zero in on your constituency. I look forward to chit-chatting with you again as we move forward. Plenty
Right.
love.
But for 2024, I want you to make a commitment to me. Right. I want you to leave that dance, the foot thing behind for 2024. All right. So blessings, brother.
All right. Nice.
All
Right,
right.
so you heard it there from the Honorable Andy Williams. I mean, he's just a genuine person, a very sincere person. And I want to wish him all the best. I want to wish you, the folks who are viewing and listening, all the best. I will be back with you tomorrow morning, God's willing. I will be back with you tomorrow, God's willing again. So we have to wrap it up. And I want to say to you, let's remain focused for 2024. We have a lot to accomplish together. It will not be easy, but we have to stick together and forge ahead. Take good care and bye for now. Take good care and bye